Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm just going to be talking about my recent horse riding injury. So I know most of the people, or pretty much everyone that watches my videos know me, so I just thought that I would talk about it. So yeah. This is a little bit of a different spot than usual, but, yeah, usually I sit over there, but, I'm not sitting over there now, because it's really hard for me to get around, because I can't walk. But yeah, so I'll just talk about what happened, and then what I'm doing now. So, yeah. So, pretty much, this will be kind of like a story time thing, so yeah. So I was really excited to go to this trail riding place on, I think it was Sunday, and I was going there just, I don't know, for fun. So I went, and I was really excited about it, and yeah. So when we got there, it was just like, there were just these horses standing around, and it was kind of cool, and we just talked to the people that own the place, and we signed some paperwork, and then they showed me the horse that I was going to be riding. So I'm pretty sure the horse's name was, I think it was like Sugar or a Sweetie or something. It was like a mare. But yeah, she was really pretty. She was like brown, and she had this like multicolored mane. She was really gorgeous. So yeah. She also had like a white stripe down her face, so she was honestly so beautiful. But yeah. So then once everyone that was going to be going on the trail ride with me got there, we got on the horses and went out. So kind of right when I got on the horse, I noticed that her saddle was like tipped to the side, and they told me that it was too. So we just put it more in the middle. We just adjusted it while I was sitting on there. And I kind of think that maybe there was something wrong with her tack, and that's why what happened. But, I mean, we'll never really know. So, yeah. So then we got started on the ride, and we were just going through, like, this woodsy area. And for the whole ride, she was acting really weird. She had her ears back for most of the ride. She kept trying to pass the horse in front of me, even though they said that she likes to be at the back of the line. She kept trying to pass the horses in front. Every time we would trot, she would try to run past the horses in front of us, and the horse in front of us did not like that, so he put his ears back every time. But yeah. So we were just riding around, and then we got to like this field thing, up near the end where, like near the end of the trail. We still had to walk back, but, it was like near the end of where we were gonna walk to. So we walked there, and everyone was taking pictures, and stuff, because there were like all these flowers everywhere. It was really pretty. I don't know what the pictures turned out like, but I'll never know. But yeah, so then we walked back, and like I said, she was acting weird for the whole ride. She, like I said, had her ears back. She kept trying to pass the horse in front, and she did spoof a couple times, like twice I think. She would do a little jump, and then she would stop. I think the first time the person who was leading our group didn't notice, but the second time I think she did. But, yeah, I think she just thought that she was scared of something, because there were little kids around at the time. So, yeah. Then, right when we were going back, that's kind of when everything went horrible. So first, she was literally trotting so fast it was almost cantering, trying to pass the horse in front. And I wouldn't let her because they said we weren't allowed to pass. And then right when she saw that we were almost right back at the barn, then my horse, she started galloping. So she was galloping through the parking lot super fast. There were people running out of the way and screaming. People were telling me to pull back on the reins, but I could hear them, but I couldn't really do anything because I was just really scared. So yeah. And then I just kind of realized that if I didn't get off the horse, because I probably could have stayed on, but I realized that if I didn't get off the horse, then she was going to run out into the road, and then she was going to get herself hurt. So I let myself fall off onto my left side off the horse, and then things kind of went black. I mean, my mom said that I was awake and that I was conscious, but she said that I wasn't really there. So I hit my head really hard. I actually have a minor concussion. And then when I kind of came to, even though I was already awake, like when I started being more conscious of my surroundings, I just remember that everything was blurry, everything was like doubled over itself, and my ears were ringing, and I just remember my mom and people running around. Apparently I asked what happened to the horse, and they said that after I fell off, then they just started trying to calm her down. So I kind of think it was the right decision to fall off the horse, because otherwise she would have ran out into the road, and that would not have been good. I think that she did this because of something was wrong with her tack. Because like I said in the beginning, they had to adjust her saddle and they had to tighten her girth. So I think there might have been something off with her tack, and that was bothering her, because apparently this was really unusual behavior for her. But yeah. So then I just remember people running around, my ears ringing, and just lots of stuff happening. And then I remember they got me into a chair, and I remember I touched my side, and I brought my hand up, and there was blood. That's actually, I got like gravel burns and scratches on my back, and on my knee, and on my elbow, on my left knee and my left back and hip. So yeah. And then I heard my mom say, "I'm going to call 911, and my mom called 911. And then I remember sirens, and everything was still ringing a bit, and it was still pretty blurry. I was a little bit more conscious, but not fully. Like, I was conscious, but I didn't really understand what was happening. It kind of felt like everything that had been happening before that was all a dream. It was really weird. But yeah, and then the ambulance came, and they had to move me onto the ambulance bed, and that hurt me a lot. And then they put me in the ambulance, and my mom was just driving to the hospital separate from the ambulance. So I was in there just with one, I think she was a nurse or something. So yeah. And then I just remember that I was asking her if she could give me something else, because my hip was hurting a lot, and she said that she could only give me laughing gas while I was in the ambulance, but I would get something else when I got to the hospital. And I don't really remember much. I just remember staring at the ceiling and looking out the ambulance window a little bit. And I remember that my hip was hurting a lot, and I couldn't really move my lower body. Like, I couldn't move that hip. So yeah. And then when I got to the hospital, they wheeled me through this they put me onto a different bed, and then they wheeled me out through these doors. And then I was in the emergency room. So they put me in a hospital bed. They had to lift up the blankets that were under me and put me onto another bed, and that hurt a lot. And then they put some things under my knees, and they had to cut away my my favorite riding pants. And now I need to get new ones because they are literally ripped in half on both sides. So they were my favorite, but now they're dead. But yeah, and then they just took my socks off, and they put a neck brace on me, and they gave me, like, I think it's morphine or something. So yeah, and then they gave me the morphine by putting an IV in my hand. I don't know if you can see the marks. There's one there. There's one there. And then they failed. They tried to poke this hand too, but they failed every time. But yeah. And then, I just remember I waited for a bit and I could only look at the ceiling like this, and I remember the neck brace was pushing into the back of my head and it hurt. So I was asking if they could take it off, but they said they had to do x-rays first to see if I had any, like, if my neck or back was fractured or broken. So I remember laying there just staring at the ceiling with my mom there for a little bit, and she was just showing me things on the phone. And then my mom went to ask how long until they could do the x-rays, and right after she asked, they came and wheeled me into the other room to do the x-rays. So yeah, they made me move my right leg and my arms into different positions. They didn't make me move my my left leg, which is the one that was hurting, but they made me move everything else except my neck because they were worried that it was broken. And then they had a look at the x-rays, and then they showed them to the doctor, and the doctor said that there were no fractures and nothing was broken, and then I just had like a really, really bad bruise, and I had scratches, and yeah. So, yeah. Then I had to stay in the hospital for a bit. My mom actually brought us both Dairy Queen, and yeah. Then I got to go home at, like, I don't even remember what time it was. It was sometime later at night. It wasn't like past 12, it was before 12, but it was still nighttime. And they let me go home. They got me out of the hospital in a wheelchair because I couldn't put any weight on my leg at all, because that hurt so much. So yeah, then I just got in the car and we drove back home. And then my mom and dad had to figure out how to get me into the house, because we have stairs that go up to the house, and obviously I couldn't walk upstairs. So they put me on a chair, and they were carrying the chair. They carried it up 3 stairs, and then I just scooted myself up the last stairs. And yeah. And then they carried me inside, on the chair. And yeah. So then pretty much for the rest of the night, then I just ate some stuff, watched some movies, played some games, and pretty much just did normal stuff, except I couldn't walk. And yeah, then I eventually went to sleep, and then I woke up again at 5, and my hip was hurting a lot, so my mom gave me some medicine for it, and that helped, and then I went back to sleep after a little bit. And then I woke up again at, I don't even remember what time, but sometime later, a few hours later. So it was really morning. And yeah, so now the way I get around, because I can't walk yet, I just roll myself around in this rolly chair that I'm on right now. I can't put any weight on that leg, and I can't move the hip properly, because that hurts a lot, so I just roll myself around on the chair. I'm struggling here to move around because I can only use one leg, but yeah. And that's also how I get to the bathroom. My parents just help me roll into the bathroom, and then I can just scoot myself over onto the toilet and obviously go to the bathroom, because that's what you do in the bathroom. And yeah, for the whole day I've just been helping my mom bake stuff for the birds, and we're gonna bake bread when she gets back. And I've had the birds out a little bit. I've just been doing stuff with them. They at first were kind of weirded out by the chair, but I think they're getting used to it now. The budgies still think it's kind of weird, but not much I can do about that. The reason I'm in a different place, by the way, is just I was too lazy to move over to my regular place, which is over there. So we have a different background this time. We have a TV that I turned off just for the purpose of this video. We have an outside with a hammock, which I can't go on anymore until I get better. But yeah. So I have a really bad bruise, I have some scratches, and I have a mild concussion. And it's really good that I was wearing my helmet, because otherwise it would have been a lot worse, and I might have even gotten like a fracture. So definitely good I was wearing my helmet, because I did hit my head. The first thing that hit the ground was my hip, my left hip, but then after that, after my body hit, then my head hit the ground. So my neck is a little bit sore, partly from the neck brace and partly it's just sore. And I don't really have too many headaches. I'm just a bit tired. So yeah, pretty much everything about my accident. I won't be able to ride for like another week or two, and I won't be able to do normal things for at least another week. This is only day 2 after the accident. Well, day 1 actually, because it happened yesterday. But yeah, it's really scary. But yeah, I'm glad that I could go back home so soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I don't really have much else to say about it. But yeah. So thanks for watching. I hope maybe this is interesting, or like just taught you that you should really wear a helmet, or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.